This is where filmmakers have an easier time of it. They have more tools, more devices. You sit down to watch a movie, and the first thing you hear is music, right? Music, sound effects, and lighting are a filmmaker's magic for creating a mood and for creating in the viewer an awareness that change is about to happen. Imminent change is a springboard for suspense. Like a man walks into a dark room. What will happen in that room? What will he find? You don't know, but something. Or a couple at the end of a first date. Will they kiss? If they do, what's next? How will their lives change? It is that space between anticipation of change and the change itself that creates suspense. As the space widens, suspense builds and builds and builds. Writers who write for print media don't have the filmmaker's tools. What we have are simply words. So we need to use our words as effectively as a filmmaker uses music and sound effects and lighting. Yet, how do we do that? Like the filmmaker, we develop a baseline mood at the moment that the story opens. It might be romantic, humorous, dangerous, historic, futuristic. Once our readers experience the baseline, they're primed for whatever change is imminent. And that's when we start dropping hints of what's to come. In most stories, the baseline will include character, setting, and situation in fairly rapid succession. In film, it's called an establishing shot. The writer's script might read, establishing shot, New York City skyline, night, or establishing shot, the Grand Canyon, early morning, or a neighborhood yard, day. That's it. The director turns that simple description into an opening scene that shows viewers exactly where and when this film is taking place, and, more important, causing the viewer to feel something, to feel anticipation. For those of us who have only words, this task becomes a little more complicated. We must avoid throwing so many words of description into the opening that a reader becomes bored. Undoubtedly, this is where that old cliche, "it was a dark and stormy night," was born. I mean, it works. But let's resort to worn-out cliches only when writing parody. So taking a hint from filmmakers, perhaps we don't need so many words to establish time and place. We write, in a Chicago train station at rush hour. Even if a reader has never been to Chicago and has never been into any train station, most of us have seen a setting in film or television that will give us some cues. So from only those 8 words, a reader's imagination will fill in the blanks and create images. Sometimes setting is so important that we need a little more description, but go easy. A baseline mood might feature a close-up view. Carrying an armload of grocery bags, Sally negotiated the steep staircase leading to her second-floor apartment. 16 words. We've established where the story starts, we've introduced a character, and a situation. Is this character going to misstep and take a fall down those steep stairs? Is someone waiting for her at the top? Will a bag burst open and a precious jar of blackberry preserves tumble out and break? Our opening can lead in so many directions. A reader wants a hint at where it's going, so we drop hints. Let's look at how we might manipulate that sentence to indicate more precisely where it might be headed. First, we might replace carrying with juggling, which paints a slightly different, slightly more precarious picture. Juggling is a good word in particular if we plan to break those precious blackberry preserves. We could also replace the word negotiated with hobbled up the staircase, which adds a hint of age or feebleness to our character, and might be particularly useful if she's going to meet with a frightening experience. We might add the word dark or shadowy to establish a more ominous mood and hint at time of day. So, juggling an armload of groceries, Sally hobbled up the steep, shadowy staircase leading to her second-floor apartment. Or we might even change steep to wobbly, which not only changes the picture a bit, but also introduces a word that has its own flavor. Compared to steep, wobbly sounds a little bit humorous. If humor is an intended quality in this story, then words like wobbly, knobby, nubby, bubbly are useful simply because of their sound. Words like knock, cluck, pinochle that have the K sound are also good. To knuckle someone's head, for example, sounds a little more humorous than to hit it or bash it. And when words are all we have, choosing the exactly right word makes a huge difference. But what does all this have to do with surprise and suspense? Everything. Because just like the punchline in a joke, surprise and suspense fall flat if we don't get the baseline setup right. So, a skunk walks into a bar.